Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 5 most carried knives over the last couple of months or so. You can actually find previous episodes of this series in my top 5 playlist if you want to see what I've carried in the past, but today we're just going to be talking about the last couple of months. If this stuff is available, I will link it right down below, and actually quite a bit of it is, so I would invite you to check out those links. It does help my channel, but that's up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Let's start off here with number 5, the least carried of the rotation, and it's mainly because I just got this thing. That's the brand new Microtech Annex. It's actually manufactured by Reich. The original Annex was made a long time ago, and it was a custom knife from the United States, so it cost a ridiculous amount of money. When the Annex was originally available, that was nowhere near where my budget was with knives, and truthfully, it still isn't really there. This guy coming in at a still very pricey $450 was more in my wheelhouse, more in my wheelhouse, my comfort zone, right? Integral knife, meaning the entire handle is made out of a single piece of titanium. We have some nice carbon fiber inlays. We've got a nice pivot collar. We have an M390 blade that is primarily deployed, or at least the way I deploy it is with the my middle finger here on the reverse side, but it can also be front flipped. I'm still trying to get a feel on this thing. I don't love the pocket clip. I will probably carry it more. It will probably get carried more often leading up to the review. It's just that it's the least carried of this group because I just recently got it. I do like the blade profile. I do like how it carries in the pocket. I'm just not a fan of these, you know, the ball bearing pocket clips. The overall styling of this knife is great. And it's actually gotten, you know, smoother. Initially, it was a little bit tight, but it's gotten smoother. I'm hoping that, you know, continues to be the case as I continue to carry it. But overall, I've had a pretty good experience with this guy. It's nice and thin behind the edge, and it's done a good job with the limited use that it's received. Moving on here, this one I'm carrying literally just for fun. Some people are going to make more use of this depending on what their day-to-day is, but my day-to-day does not call for something this intense, and that's the Demco Cold Steel AD10 in the new Tanto configuration. I don't know what it is about this Tanto, but I just like it. I throw this thing in my pocket when I'm doing things like going to the grocery store. There is nothing that could happen where I would need. This is such a mega pounder of a knife. The Demco triad lock and this ridiculously robust S35VN Tanto blade fills the hand nicely with these big contoured G10 scales. Pocket clip, again, is kind of bothersome in and out, and it also takes up just a ridiculous amount of room in the pocket. I mean, this is like carrying a folding Hummer in your pocket. It's ridiculous, but it is cool. And every time I get it out, every time I show it to somebody, it's kind of like a, oh, wow, you know, it's awesome. And truthfully, out of all the overbuilt knives out there, this is the one that I find is most reasonable to carry. So if you're somebody who's like, I really want one of those big, heavy-duty, overbuilt knives. I want it to actually be capable, but I want it to be somewhat reasonable because I really don't want to be carrying around a 1-pound knife in my pocket. And yes, 1-pound folding knives do exist. I've shown a couple on this channel. This thing is probably the most reasonable. It's actually ergonomically very comfortable. It's got a good grind S35VN steel, and these things come in at a reasonable price tag, which I'm forgetting off the top of my head. This is available right now. It's available in Tanto and drop point configuration. I'll link it down below. It's still pretty pricey, but it's under what is it? I'm not even gonna say. It's linked down below. It's under $200. I think like pretty readily under $200. Is that the right word? I don't know. Let's progress here. Moving on here. That was number 4. This is now number 3. This might surprise some of you. I've always wanted to EDC, ouch, a Shurogorov. This thing is a freaking heavy detent. This is a real Shurogorov. I have no interest in carrying a clone. Truthfully, I wouldn't be caught dead carrying a replica of anything. If I'm going to carry a Shurogorov, it's going to be the real thing. I'm a little bit reserved with this guy. Not that I'm not familiar with EDCing really expensive knives. You guys know that for a long time, I was dedicated to carrying a $1,500 Rockstead. And I still do carry and use this knife, definitely. This guy is still pretty new. Let's just say when I carry this, this is an $1,100 knife. And, you're going to hear the echoes of, that's crazy. Why would you ever, whatever. It's an expensive knife, right? When I carry it, I use it, but I'm reserved, especially when it comes to, if somebody's like, hey, you got a knife on you? My answer if I'm carrying this thing is no, even if they can see the pocket clip. This just isn't something I'm comfortable with handing off to anybody. The detent is still really heavy on this guy, but it has loosened up a little bit. You can see this versus those of you who watched me unbox this, it was so stiff, but it has broken in beautifully, and I expect it to continue to break in. This is running on multi-row bearings. Once you do break the detent, it fires hard. The profile of this knife is beautiful, and in the pocket, oh my goodness, it is wonderful. In and out of the pocket with ease. The ergonomic lines are fantastic. Shirogorov knives have some of the best ergonomic lines in the entire knife world. And that cutting geometry, while it hasn't really seen too much use, you can see there's a couple of little tiny marks there from some cardboard. It just glides through material. These are amazing. I love them. Anybody who's actually looking to spend that much on a knife, I still recommend Shirogorov knives, but you certainly do not have to spend $1,100 to get a good pocket knife. This is just something that I wanted to add to my collection, and it's the one that I have decided to carry. Out of all the Shiros that I own, this is the one that I've decided to start carrying. So I very much like the F95. That's actually the F95 Zero, if I didn't say. That's the newest version of the F95. Moving on here, something on the complete opposite end, something that also has been in my pocket a lot since I got it, and that's the new Scentcut Sakshi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which I'm almost sure that I am not. If these are not available yet, they will be available very soon. This is a $45 knife, and it is wonderful. A very basic and very safe design from Scentcut. If you're thinking, that looks like a Civivi, it's because Civivi and Scentcut and we are all the same company, right? It also looks like a bajillion different knives because it is, simply put, the most common handle and blade profile in existence. There are thousands of knives that look exactly like this, and it works. It's lightweight, compact, it's got great cutting geometry, it's super fun and easy to manipulate. It's got the thumb studs, right? So depending however you like to deploy it, it's pretty much got it. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is the pocket clip. I don't like these big goosebill pocket clips. I think they're kind of ridiculous, but just a day-to-day, like, good. And the blade steel is 9CR18 MOV, which is decent, especially considering it's a $45 knife. If these are available now, I would highly recommend you pick these up. If not for yourself, then a gift for somebody else, because they make wonderful, I don't want to use the word disposable, but let's just say if you lose this knife, you're going to be a lot less heartbroken than if you lose a Shirogorov F95. Definitely. Really, really a joy to carry. And then finally, number one, and truthfully, this knife has absolutely dominated, and I mean dominated, my pockets since it arrived. It is 100%, even given I got it here fairly recently. I think I got this in the last, I think I picked this up 3.5 weeks ago, maybe. It is 100% the most carried knife of the last month and a half, couple of months or so. And that's the Demco AD 20.5 titanium in CPM 3V with the shark's foot blade. This is essentially, it's almost exactly what I was talking about in my series about the ideal EDC knife, and it's largely centered around what I need, right? When I talk about that, I can only speak from my personal experience, right? So I just say what I think is ideal for me, and this is essentially that. This is we've talked about this a million times, ambidextrous locking system, ambidextrous deploying system. It's just wonderful. I mean, switching hands and using this outside, it's actually been used so much that I have resharpened it, put my own edge on it. I'm definitely not somebody who's babying this. It really doesn't have that many marks on it. I think there's a couple, right? Yeah, you can kind of see a couple of little things reflecting here or there. It really hasn't seen that much use. And truthfully, this thing will probably continue. I just really love titanium. You don't need to get this in titanium. It's just that of all the blade steels that this is available in, 3V is the one that I'm enjoying the most, right? You can get these in AUS 10A, which is D2, which is a little bit better, and then 3V, right? In the future, I would imagine that they will offer a premium stainless composition, hopefully something like S45V, and I think that would probably be a really good choice. I think 20CV or M390 is inevitable, and I think eventually we'll see Magna Cut, perhaps even before we see 20CV or M390, right? Whatever. I like the sheep's foot blade the best, but you can also get these in clip point. Just depends on your preference. There's only one thing that could make this knife a little bit better, right? And perhaps it's something that you might be seeing in the somewhat near future. I don't want to give too much away. Yeah, it's going to take quite a bit to pry this thing out of my pocket. I have absolutely enjoyed this. It's just been wonderful. It's one of the most straightforward, just utilitarian designs out there. And that shark lock, because it is designed by Andrew Demco, it's essentially the equivalent of the triad lock. So you have a super robust lock on a knife that is pretty lightweight and compact. Even the titanium one here, guys, is not really coming in all that heavy. And I'll show you guys real quick. We're looking at 4.34 ounces, which is not a problem at all. One of the greatest EDC folding knives in existence, in my opinion, is the Ritter Hogan. It comes in actually a little bit heavier. Granted, you are getting a longer blade, but it's a bigger knife overall, taking up more room in the pocket. I love this knife. The only issue with it, is that this version of it, exactly this version, is $315. You add tax to that, and you're like, yeah! It feels like a $250 knife. I think I said that in the review, right? But you gotta pay a little more for it. This is wonderful. I love it. The only thing that stings is the price. Really good stuff. So once again, number one most carried, the Demco AD 20.5. We have the Scentcut Sakshi, which you guys probably just saw the unbox. It's confusing for people because you're like, you just unboxed that the other day. Right, but the video has actually been sitting in queue for a couple of weeks because everything's pre-recorded. I know it's hard to keep track of the schedule on this channel. I have to keep everything pre-recorded or there's no way to upload consistently twice a day. You'll just have to take my word for it. We have the Sugarloaf F95-0, definitely the most expensive of the bunch. We have the Demco and Cold Steel AD10 Tanto, and finally the Microtech Annex. That's going to be pretty much it for today. Let me know what your top 5 most carried knives. Let me know whatever. If you, maybe you're like, I don't have 5 knives, I just carry 1. Let me know what your favorite knives are to carry right down in the description. It's always fun to read what other people are carrying. Like I said, anything that is available right now, which is pretty much going to be this guy, and this guy, I will link right down in the description for you. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.